Hi, sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another podcast. Same format we were doing, well, Lucas was doing. I was just participating in one. In Tyree. Right now in Morocco, Moulay, for a 3-star IWT event that was happening here. Bit of a no wind period here for us, but first 2 days of the competition were quite windy, and I feel like the both of us were quite satisfied with the result. I mean, always could have done better, but just from my side at least, I was happy to get in the under 21's final, and still don't know in which place I ended up in. That's unknown. Hopefully third, but
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe they're doing the prize giving ceremony tonight. I don't know. I
I
hope.
know.
We don't know. We don't know anything. This
Yeah.
is compared to some other competitions, a bit like a smaller format. Although a lot of competitors in this
A
one.
lot of competitors. I think there was a full bracket for the pros, and then for the amateurs as well. I think
Yeah.
also 32. And how
We're,
many of the youth were there?
I think
Not so many, but
six juniors of
6
the
juniors.
under 21s. Yeah, of
Yeah.
the pro juniors 6, and quite a lot of women also in this competition. So yeah, I think the organizer said it was close to 100, some 90 something competitors.
Yeah, it's pretty
Overall.
decent. And
It's
well, we kind of decided to go not last minute, but like well, I wanted to come for a while, and then I saw the contest and I was like, okay, this is a good time to come to Morocco. And I was meant to come with someone, and they kind of bailed. And then in Chile, when we were in Chile, you were like, oh, maybe I'll go to Morocco. And I said, come, I've got a spare spot. So we ended up doing that. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to wait to see how the forecast was looking. And it was shaping up to be really, really good. So we decided to come. And then yeah, the first like 7 days, I think we got like 6 out of 7 days windsurfing or something
yeah.
like
The first we
that. So
came.
really good.
Yeah, we even windsurfed the day we came. I think we came at around like 4 o'clock in the evening, and we got an evening session in already. And then the next day was windy, and then came the big swell. So for the first competition day, you said it was unusual for you as well to see the swell of this size. I mean, you've been here once
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I've only been here once, and that was in the summer. And in the summer, it's usually windier but less wavy. And the first couple of days were kind of similar, but still fun waves.
Yeah.
And then for the day before, or was it the day before the contest? Or
Yeah.
yeah, we got like a good swell coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day of the contest was also pretty big.
Yeah.
Logo to mast high. And yeah, it's interesting to see the spot when it's big because for me, Morocco's always been like a fun playground.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen kind of two sides of it this trip, which is
Yeah.
cool because for me, I just thought it was like a pretty easy, mellow spot.
Yeah.
And then when it was bigger, then it was, it's not like crazy heavy, but it's definitely not like a playground. You have to think a little bit about
You do.
where you're gonna ride, and especially when it gets to low tide, we've had big tides. It it breaks shallow onto the rocks.
I feel like the wave, not, size wise and maybe like that, but it's like a bit similar to Matanzas in Chile that we had. It just breaks in sections. Kind of, it's, not a point break, a bit unpredictable, so you have to find the right position, and then just a closeout at the end. That's why I actually preferred the first 2 days that we came here, because towards the evening the wind dropped, turned offshore, and you could just, it was almost like a point break, remember, on the reef?
Mhm.
It was like breaking at one point, and you could do, a couple of turns and then exit the wave, and you go like kind of, you didn't go over any white water when you were going in.
Yeah.
It was a nice wave, but when it got bigger, man, it was difficult. Especially, yeah, for me, I mean, it's my first starboard tack trip.
Mm.
I've been sailing starboard in Ireland a couple times for the Mayo Mayhem and Denmark in Klitmoller, but other than that, it's first experience. So I mean, just regarding my wave riding, I love it. I love it here because it's like same as surfing.
You're regular.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like same as
Me too.
surfing, but jumping, that's like, I feel like it's my first day wave riding. I mean, I can do the tricks, but you saw my forward loop.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny. I can land the back loops, but it just all looks a bit ugly.
Yeah.
But
It's normal when
yeah,
you've only ridden one tack most of your life.
yeah,
And jumping is definitely harder than wave riding
yeah,
to get your head around. So yeah, it's you need to come here again.
yeah. I guess I do. I mean, you know how to like do the tricks and everything. Since I've been sailing port tack, yeah, all my life basically. I know how to do the movement and everything is just completely switched around. And I know like, the technical side of it that I need in the back loop. I need to move my hands and bring the sail close in.
Mhm.
It's just like,
Yeah, muscle memory.
yeah, it's just muscle memory. You just
Yep.
kind of, oh, this feels really weird, and then you're landing on your back all the time
Yeah.
in the back loops. But I mean, yeah, just
Yeah,
takes
you'll get there.
practice.
Yeah, and like kind of on that note, like this is probably the best starboard tack like place to come in. Like I say Europe because it's so close. It's obviously in Africa, but like it's really easy to access from Europe. And from like April to September, I think it's always windy.
Yeah,
And I'm always surprised that not more people coming here. Like good guys to train because
yeah,
it's for Europe. It's easy to come. It's cheaper than going like to Maui or somewhere like that. So
mm,
yeah, I didn't come for a couple of years, but now I'm thinking to come more.
yeah.
And they've got now they got flights from the Canary Islands
Oh yeah,
straight to Marrakesh. So that's a good option if any of us are in the Canary Islands, and
yeah.
you can come over. And then it's a 3-hour transfer from Marrakesh,
Mm.
and and then you're in Moulay, and then
I mean,
Moulay is like I don't know, it's like the middle. You feel like a bit in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we're close to a big town, Essaouira, but
Yeah.
here there's not much. There's like
yeah,
one restaurant, one cafe, and a little shop. But when it's windy, it's kind of all you need.
yeah. I mean, we were talking a lot also, like in Chile. Everybody's kind of, almost everybody. It seems like Maui's gonna be quite full this year. So a lot of talk, at least in where we were living. Oh,
Wow.
where we were living, there's like a lot of talk where to come train for starboard tack, like close to Europe.
Mm.
And like you said, Portugal, like you could train some
Yeah.
starboard tack there. But here, I mean, if you come, it's like Pozo, you stay in one spot,
Mhm.
and I mean, if it's windy, you just windsurf all day, every day. But then if it's not windy, yeah, I mean, same as
hard.
Pozo a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just one cafe, one shop, and yeah, you just chill around. You could do some surfing.
It's very chilled here.
Yeah, it's very chilled here. But I mean, still, plenty of do. I feel like if
Yeah, yeah.
you just need to find something, and but yeah, as Lucas said, close to Europe, this is probably the best place because also no visas necessary
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So you just come in, and the flights, there are a lot of flights. I mean, even from Europe, you can fly to Essaouira if you don't want to make the 3-hour drive
Yeah.
from Marrakesh.
I think from the UK there's some flights, but
Yeah.
a bit more expensive.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's options, and then if you're not as experienced wave sailing in Essaouira, actually, is a good place
Yeah.
to wave sail. And then there's another spot, Sidi Kalki, which is a bit further south, but they're all kind of in an hour of each
Yeah.
other. And Moulay is also a good place if you're not like amazing, but on the flat days. On the big days, it's still quite a challenging spot. Um, but no, yeah. Should we talk about the contest a bit?
Yeah, I wanted to say, let's talk about the competition. You know, what do you feel like you could have done better? What were you lacking a little bit? What went good?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first kind of proper like days sailing starboard tack for quite a while. Like I think pretty much since Tyree, I haven't had like any like jumping days on starboard tack or jumping days in general either because of my knee. So I had the injury and I didn't really want to jump too much in it.
Yeah.
And then Chile, of course, was amazing, but all wave riding and all port tack. So yeah, I wasn't. And the sailors here are pretty good, so I wasn't too focused on having a good result. It was more just getting into like the competition, like the rhythm a little bit, and getting back into some jumping. So that was good. We had a couple days to start with, so I kind of get back into the groove of it. I took a couple of days like to go for some stalled forwards because that's in Tyree. That's where I injured myself. I coming down on stalled forward, so that's always a bit scary when you do an injury and it's in your head. So,
Yeah, all in your
I got
head.
over that, and in the contest. Hello, mate. Mish mish. Pretty much got like everything that I was kind of thinking to do.
Yeah.
In the heats, so I'm kind of happy. Like I wasn't really thinking about going crazy and trying anything crazy. Just getting back into the rhythm. So in that sense, it was all right. Like pretty much, I think every heat I was doing like a push loop and stalled forward, and then trying to get some wave rides, which is quite hard.
Yeah, I mean your push loops were looking really good.
Yeah, that.
Pushies, yeah. And you got some height on the stalled forwards as well. That's impressive because for me it's well, the wave riding, I think I'm decent. You know, some turns I like even better on my starboard tack side than my port tack.
Turns were good. Yeah.
It's just I think I was able to, like in the heats, I was able to find somewhat the right waves and kind of be in the critical section and like. But we were talking about going like for aerials on this wave is really hard because even though it seems kind of like a heavy and steep wave at some points, it just weirdly crumbles at the top. So you need to force the aerials a lot. So I was just, when I'm going for the lip, I'm just kind of jumping myself. The wave is not like pushing me out. But I mean, the jumping, could have done better jumps, but unfortunately, also my smallest sail was a 3.7, and I was stacked on the first day of the comp.
Go on, give us a little like rundown on the first day, like the conditions and like what they were scoring.
I mean, we never got quite the information on what exactly they were looking for.
True.
In the scoring, there was no official skippers meeting at the start of the comp, but the conditions were, I would say, pretty big. I was like before the comp, I was telling you that I'm actually a bit scared. Because you go even going over bigger whitewater for me on starboard tack side feels weird. It's like basic things like that just feel very different. But I mean, it was what logo, maybe some of the biggest sets even for 3.7 layer like mast high. In earlier in the morning, it was like got up to mast high, but typically it was like about logo high waves.
We saw some chicken jives as well.
Yeah, some like before, man. If you're going in and there's like a mast high whitewater wave coming at you, I was just chicken jiving.
And also like here, we had the like a longer period swell, and they were just coming in like lines, and
Yeah.
there's no channel, so
No, there's
everyone was doing
yeah.
some chicken jives at some point.
Yeah, there's no channel. You just go directly over the waves. But I mean, it does come in sets. So if you time it right, you can get over them, and everything. But I mean, it was strong winds. I was stacked on my 3.7.
Yeah.
What could have been? It could have been. It wasn't 40 knots. It was less. But I feel like
it was windy. Like the first heat, I know I tried 3.7 and then I changed mid heat to 4.0.
yeah,
Just because with the bigger swell there was a bit more water moving, and I've definitely found in this spot, like where the breaking waves were, there's a lot of just white water, and
yeah,
all the air there just doesn't help you pick up speed for jumps or
no,
on the wave even. So I used 4.0 for I think two heats, sort of more the morning or middle of the day, and then and that was higher tide.
yeah,
And then as the tide dropped, it got windier. Like I don't know what the science behind it is, but there's something that happens in Tenerife and Pozo where the high tide here kind of kills the wind a little bit, and as the tide drops, it gets super windy. So
yeah,
at the end, we were both on 3.7. We weighed pretty much the same, 70 kilos or something. So
yeah. When it's high tide, you definitely need to be fully stacked because the waves come all the way. The white water comes all the way to the shore, so you don't have any space to gain speed. But at like high tide, I think it breaks a bit further out, and it gets stronger. It got stronger in the evening, definitely. And then I was on for my heats. I was on a 4.0 as well, but then towards the end of the day, I switched to a 3.7. But I mean, the conditions were definitely for like training and everything is fun. It's a bit of a onshore wind. Then it starts turning to more just like side shore. In the evening, it turns to offshore.
yeah, but in general, it's pretty much bang on like cross shore. Like
Yeah.
slightly on maybe in the morning and slightly off in the afternoon, but it's like you couldn't really get more perfect, to be honest. And it means you can jump and wave ride, and it's the perfect kind of place to do both.
Yeah, but definitely have to be careful with jumping because when it gets lower tide, like you can see once you get closer to the shore, and there's also like some shoals, some rocks and reefs kind of a bit further out. You can see the water kind of boiling up from the rocks. So have to be careful when landing your back loops. Not to get the nose struck. I mean, for me, it wasn't a problem because I don't have the height, on my back loops yet. But some of like the jumps that the fleches were doing, they were going huge. And also, Tituan taking the title in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about some of the other riders. I think also in the pros there was a big, probably half the fleet Moroccan riders, and really high level, because probably people at home only think of like Boujma, pretty much as like the Moroccan legend, and he's obviously one of the best. But there's also like I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 other guys who are also really good, jumping really well, riding really well. And like I think the first day of the contest I was like, fuck, there's a lot of good guys, and obviously they're local, so they know the spot really well.
I mean, even the Moroccan guy in the pro juniors in the under 21s, he was on the old Gastra sail and like I think it was a custom board or something, an older version of board, but he could have done well in the pros as well. I mean,
he was riding amazing.
He was like his wave style was very good, and doing stalled forwards and back loops, and the local kids are sending it, and it's nice to see, you know. So I mean, difficult for us, I guess. You've been sailing starboard tack a bit more, but you know, kind of conditions that we aren't maybe used to so much. As you said, you know, you haven't sailed starboard tack in a while, but it's good practice, and I at least made it further than I thought I was gonna be. Thought I was gonna end up dead last
Yeah.
in
So
the comp.
you did the two, like the men and.
I did men's, and but there was only single elim.
Yeah. So the ladder was like a redemption kind of ladder, like
Yeah,
what we see in like the surfing, where
yeah,
if you lose the first round, then you have a second chance. But yeah, basically the contest, I think the waiting period was like a week, but um, in the end we only had like 2 days of wind on the forecast, so
mm,
they wanted to yeah do everyone in the first 2 days, which was quite a
yeah,
big ask, and so they basically had to like cut it down to pretty much just a single elimination. So harsh if you have a bad heat, because then you go straight out. Um, so we did a single elimination. You didn't make your heat on the
I
single,
didn't.
so
I
straight
didn't.
out.
Yeah, I didn't make the men's. It was just. I think it was my first heat, and it was just filled with chicken jibes and a lot of time in the water. You know, first heat of the day. 5 minute practice before, but I mean that wasn't my main focus, anyways. And but still, you know, may kind of gave a good practice for the juniors, and then I made it somehow through my first
Mm.
juniors heat, and then onto the finals, and
Yeah.
I'm completely satisfied with the result, and
Yeah.
I mean it's cool. I if we take into account like the windsurfing and everything, I like it here in Morocco a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I
As
mean,
it,
from like when you see from the outside, like your wave riding is definitely
yeah,
is really good, and you just need some more practice on the jumps.
yeah,
And yeah, I think there was one of the Moroccan kids in the youth,
mm-hmm.
as you said, he was kind of ripping, and then there was also Mark, who's from
Yeah,
Tarifa. He also is pretty good on both sides.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know the result. We don't know the results yet,
We
but
don't
I
know
would
the
guess it
results.
would be between them two to see who wins.
Yeah,
And then maybe you third, but we'll see. But yeah, so then I got to the semis of the men's,
mm-hmm.
uh, which I was happy with. Like for me, if I got to the final, I would have been pretty stoked. To be fair,
Mm,
with the level,
mm,
and the semi heat was like pretty def heat because I had Boujma. Well, I had Boujma in two of my heats, so
yeah,
I was kind of just going for second almost,
mm,
because it's pretty hard to beat him here. But yeah, the semis it was Boujma and Titouan,
mm.
who's also going huge on the jumps, like
I
maybe
felt
bigger
like,
than Boujma
yeah,
actually.
I felt like you had really hard, hard heat to
Mm.
get through.
Mm.
Just fell in with the best guys from the start.
Yeah.
So like, whichever heat you were in, or they could have been a final, that
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. So it was just for him, it was from the start up against
Mm.
the leaders of the
Yeah.
comp. So
But it was nice. I got to push myself.
yeah,
Sailing with, it's cool to sail a heat with, Boujma especially because, I don't know about you, but I've always been watching him since I was small.
mm,
And yeah, it was kind of cool to be in a heat and see him just flying up, still forward in front of you and
yeah,
stuff like that. And yeah, I think the semi heat I don't know if it was that heat I had a long swim or the heat before. I think it was that heat.
I think it was not your last one.
Okay.
It was the one before your last heat. What would that been?
Quarterfinals.
Quarter. I think in
I'm not sure.
quarterfinals. Yeah.
But I was struggling quite a bit with the waves more, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, like, from my point of view, I would have liked to maybe get a slightly bigger, like, forward.
Mm.
But for me, yeah, I was slightly annoyed I couldn't find some better waves.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's where I could have maybe
Yeah.
edged them a little bit.
Mm.
But yeah, Boujma was like finding some just nuggets, and
Yeah.
hitting big lips.
Mm.
And then, I mean, ideally I would have liked to have been on a small board because I was on a 73
Oh yeah, you.
or the 37, but I broke my small board like just the days before the comp, which was annoying. So I think that would have helped a
Yeah.
bit because yeah, even on the wave there's a lot of chop.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Mm.
and my 73 is kind of a bit better suited to. It's a bit livelier, so it's like you don't have so much control when it's
Yeah.
big and choppy. So that would have helped a bit, but yeah, as you said, it was hard to to kind of find waves that were kind of giving you something
Yeah.
to do, and also yeah, like a lot of the times, like you think you're gonna come up and do a good turn or hit the lip, and then the wave kind of just fades or something, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it really jacks up and
Yeah.
kind of goes heavy. So that was tricky, but yeah, that was fun to sail, and then the final was also a really good watch.
Yeah.
It was Boujma, Titouan,
Julian.
Julian, so the two brothers, and then Sofiane, another amazing Moroccan rider. I think he might have done a World Tour event like a few years
Really?
ago. I don't know. I think so. I think maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's probably him and Boujma are probably
Yeah.
the two best guys here.
Yeah, I mean, we were also filming each other's heats, and I could see like I feel like the days before, I don't know if it was the board or the conditions or what impacted that, but I could see your wave riding's very good in this, but I felt like in your heats, yeah, as I was saying to you on the beach, you were kind of lacking the
Yeah.
waves a little bit. I mean, you got the jumps in pretty early, do a forward, do a push loop, but then yeah, somehow the waves. But it could have been just also the conditions, because the days before that we were training, it was
Different spot
quite
almost.
different. Yeah, almost like a different spot, and
Yeah.
then
It's a lot of local knowledge, I think.
yeah, and then it's first competition day, and it looks like in a completely different completely different spot. And yeah, I mean, always room for improvement.
Yeah,
So
yeah, always. Yeah, then I got brought in to judge to help judge in the
yeah.
final, which was kind of fun actually to see the final and with like a critical view, I guess. And I think there was 5 judges as well, so um, always the more judges the better. You get a fairer result, and I think the result was pretty fair in the end. It was really tight between Julian, Titouan, and Boujma.
mm,
I think I think there was like a point in between all of them, and like I think I went. I think I with my points I had Boujma winning.
yeah,
Some judges had Titouan, so it was like it was super close.
mm,
But Titouan had like a pretty sick wave at the end with a one-handed goiter, which was like
oof,
the clutch wave to basically get him the win at the end.
yeah,
Um, Julian also had a really sick wave in the final with a pretty huge aerial.
mm,
Um, like there was like a pretty big aerial and then another aerial not as big and then some things on the end. But that was just impressive because yeah, that was, as we said, it's hard to kind of find a good section and really project forward, and it was a proper aerial, and he stomped it. So Julian got like the highest wave score. Boujma was kind of just all around consistent, big
yeah.
back loops and stalled forwards. I don't think we saw many like doubles in this event.
No, no.
I think Boujma maybe tried
Bujima
one.
was sending a couple, but I didn't see him stomp any, perfectly. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely eventful and fun to watch also. And I mean, it's completely different, from all the competitions that I've been to, at least, Portac and everything. And here suddenly it's switched up, and all these guys that well, you don't see the flèches, that often. Like the
Mhm.
other competitions, I think they go to Pozo and someplace maybe else other time. But
Mm.
I haven't seen them in competition before, so it was definitely nice to watch.
Yeah.
That there's many good guys, and each one of them has their
Yeah.
best stack and own techniques and specialties, and
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think even if you bring everyone here,
yeah,
like the Flèches, Boujma, like they're still probably going to be really high up in the competition because this
Yeah.
is like their local spot. So, at this spot, they're probably some of the best guys in the world in the spot, if not the best. So, yeah, that the level in that sense is really high.
yeah,
Um, it's hard to beat these guys here.
yeah.
But yeah, it would be cool to see like a full-on event here as
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
It's cool that it's small and then have a lot of Moroccan guys,
Yeah.
like different people come in. Us, like we're coming.
I mean, it would be really fun because it would, be sort of a contrast event to the current tour that we have. Because basically everything except Hukipa is a port tack, and
Mhm.
Chile's wave riding, but like Pozo, Tenerife, that's also involving a lot of jumping and like silt. Silt, okay, has different kind of conditions,
Mm.
but to have like a 4-star, okay, maybe not yeah, you can make it a 5-star. I don't see why
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But
So
I
it's the
mean,
money.
I mean, like a higher ranking event here, it would be really fun with like the European riders and some from the States showing up here. It would definitely be a different event, and I think we would see different leaders, emerging
Yeah.
through the brackets. So that would be fun
Cool.
if it would have a higher ranking.
Hmm.
But yeah, in sort of in conclusion, I just wanted to also give a shout out to the place we're staying. I mean Taranga.
Tatanga.
Sorry, Tatanga. Tatanga. I mean, we're getting fed Michelin star level
If you
dinners
want to
here.
stay in Moulay and have good food, this is where you come.
This is where you come. I mean, it's been a great experience, but besides the windsurfing, also for me, to see a bit of Morocco and windsurf here and eat all the great food, everything. It's an experience as a whole on this trip, besides the windsurfing as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
Uh,
great. It's a great
it's a
place.
good venue, that's for sure.
Yeah.